Welcome back to the NW Sportscast. It's Debate Thursday, and today we're talking about the Seattle Mariners, our hometown baseball team. It's been a quiet offseason so far, but there are rumors, a lot of speculation going on. Some people are saying, some insiders in the industry are saying the Mariners are waiting to make that big domino move because they want to see if they can sign the Japanese young pitching phenom, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I apologize if I did not pronounce his name correctly. I'm still getting familiar with the player. Drew Yamamoto is going to be 25 years old, coming off of a season in Japan. And obviously, it's Japan, so the offensive guys there aren't as good, but Japan's no joke. I mean, they did win the World Baseball Classic, so I don't think it's a joke of a like
No,
this guy
100%.
last season for Japan put together a 1.21 ERA in
Crazy stuff.
64 innings. That
Yeah.
was incredibly, that was actually his third season in a row with an ERA below one. So that's pretty impressive when you think about that. Below two. 3 straight seasons of an ERA below two. The guys in the major leagues don't do that, obviously. And again, Japan, not as deep of a league as the major league. So there's the stars are about the same level, but the utility kind of bench depth pieces are not nearly at the level. So he's pitching against not as good of talent, but still, he is the best pitcher in Japan right now. He was better than Kodai Senga when Kodai Senga was in Japan. And now he says, I saw what Kodai Senga just went to the Mets and immediately became their ace and immediately is getting huge paychecks from the MLB. I want to do the same exact thing. So do you think the Mariners should sign Yamamoto?
Of course they should. This guy is 25, comes off 3 straight Cy Youngs in Japan. He's electric. He lives up in the zone, has one of the best fastballs in the MLB if he comes here. And then he has a nasty curveball slash splitter, whatever you want to call it, rivals that of Felix Hernandez's splitter slash curveball. It's amazing. He has a curveball, changeup, and fastball combo. He's just an incredible free agent at the age of 25. Most of the times, these types of elite pitching free agents go in the market around their age 29 to 31 type year. You see it with Blake Snell right now. But since he comes from Japan, he's 25. I mean, you can sign this guy for 11 years. Like, let's say you sign him for 11 years, whatever, $600 million. He's not even out of like he's just exiting his prime at the end of the 11th year. Usually if you do that to a guy at age 30 or whatever you say, he's 41, 42 at the end of that contract. He'd be 36. This guy is incredible. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to the league and is the best pitcher in the MLB. He's that good, Levi. His stuff is electric and he plays the entire year.
Now, look, I don't know if I'd go that far, call him the best pitcher in the MLB, but I agree.
I said I wouldn't be surprised if he turns into the best pitcher in Emily. He's incredible. He's incredible. And you only would pay about 50 to 60% of his actual market value. If a pitcher like this in the MLB put up these types of numbers, he would be going for almost double the amount of money that Yamamoto is about to get. But since he comes from Japan and since he's not technically quote unquote MLB proven, you're going to get this guy on a 50 to 60% discount. I mean,
I don't know about that either.
it's Cyber Monday, Black Friday sale for Yamamoto because he's not MLB proven. I don't care if you're in the MLB. I don't care if you play in Japan, if you play in Korea. If you have this guy's type of stuff, he put up a 1.21 ERA, 3 straight Cy Youngs at the age of 25. He can only get better with coaches in the U.S. He is going to be. I would put my money on him being a Cy Young finalist.
So how much, Drew? How much?
I think
I'm not going to say I would be mad if the Mariners got him because obviously I would be happy if they got him. But I just want to ask this: how far would you be willing to pay him? Knowing that the Mariners operate with such a strict salary cap, knowing that we need offense more than pitching, how much would you pay him?
I would pay him a lot. I would pay him.
I want to hear a number on. I want to hear an average annual value on this contract.
30 million, 25. I mean, he's
gonna for how many years?
He's gonna be one of the best pitchers in that.
Expectation is that he's gonna go over 200 million total, which is a lot of money, right? I mean, that's a lot of money to give to a player. The Mariners,
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
the only guy we have that we're paying that kind of money to right now is Julio. So I'm saying, so we sign him. Now we have no money else to spend
I would say I would give 25 million a
pretty
year for
much
him.
anything.
Over 10 years, 25 million a year.
What's that?
25 million a year over 10 years. 250.
You'd give him that much. That's a lot of money.
250 for an unproven guy from Japan. That's how confident I am in him. And you could argue, look, the Mariners don't need a starting pitcher. Yeah, I mean that's true, but you would our team not be better with Yamamoto on it? Obviously be better.
They would,
Instead of
I
starting
think they
Miller
would
or
be.
Wu, we would start Yamamoto. And on top of that, then guys like Miller and Wu become expendable, Levi. And now all of a sudden, we just turned Yamamoto into A, he upgrades our rotation, and B, we could get a bat
Yeah.
by getting Yamamoto. We could then trade Wu or Miller for a bat. I mean, this is a win, 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 win. Trade Miller, trade someone like that to the Rays. They're shopping a Rosarena right now. That might be all it takes is Miller
It
for a
could.
Rosarena.
That
I
could be
mean,
all it takes. And if that happens, I'd be very happy. I worry also, and maybe this is just because it happened to us, but the last time the Mariners signed a pitcher from Japan, it kind of it wasn't
did
perfect.
Kikuchi backfire?
Well,
Did
Kikuchi,
he?
see on the
He
team.
made an All-Star game. He was
Make
one
an
of our
all-star,
best players for a
he
couple
made an
years
all-star
there.
game. He was an ace for half a season. He had half a really good season.
I
And
wouldn't say he was a. I wouldn't say he was a
Kikuchi
bust.
rebounded really well last season with the Blue Jays. So
Yeah,
I, I'm not saying a bust, but we did kind of overpay a little bit, I think, for Kikuchi.
maybe.
Um,
But Kikuchi is not the same level of prospect as Yamamoto.
well, his numbers are pretty similar. They
The
both,
hype Yamamoto's getting is not like Kikuchi. Yes, people
yeah,
wanted him out, but no, not like this. This guy is something else. I'm telling you.
yeah. I mean, look at Kikuchi's best season. He had a 1.97 ERA. Yamamoto's best season 1.2. So yeah, Yamamoto definitely is a better prospect. He's also 2 years younger than Kikuchi was when we signed him. So he's. I'm not saying he's not a better prospect. But I'm saying we've tried this before. It works okay for us. I feel like as if we were the Dodgers or the
Yeah,
Yankees or the Giants, I would spend this money in a heartbeat. But knowing what I know, which is that the Mariners don't spend money unless they really, really think they have to. And they already feel like maybe they are getting burned by the Robbie Ray contract, who we still have to pay a bunch of money to. It's just all that stuff kind of factors in, and it's like I don't see this happening. And if I'm the GM, I'm not sure if I'm pulling the trigger on that.
I
But
am.
obviously you have to look into it. You have to. I think the market is going to be so high for this guy. I mean, look at uh I believe it was the Cardinals just signed Sonny Gray for a $25 million a year deal. Like that's Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's 33 and it's coming off of a good season, no doubt about it. But before this year, Sonny Gray had a couple of really average, kind of middle of the road seasons, and he's been dealing with injuries. Like the
Yeah,
fact that a 33-year-old with an injury history and he's really only had like 3 good years in his entire career is going for 25 million a year, that just tells you the pitching market is going to be insane. So I think Yamamoto might be looking at a $35 million a year contract. I know you think there's going to be a discount. I'm not sure if there is going to be a discount.
Levi, you're. I don't know what side you're arguing right now because the Sonny Gray thing helps my argument.
No, the Sonny Gray thing hurts the argument.
No, 25 million for Sonny Gray means this guy is also going for around 25
No,
million.
no. This
And
time
Yamamoto,
I'm saying
no,
he's going to go
this
for
guy is
a lot
5'10.
more.
He's 5'10. He throws a mid-90s fastball, and he's unproven, which is going to give him a discount going into the MLB.
I'm not
But
sure if there
if
will.
I'm right about this guy, he is going to be one of the best pitchers for a long time in the MLB. And you'd be wishing the Mariners could sign him for $30 million a year in 2 years right now. You would be wishing,
Yeah,
Levi.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying I wouldn't be
You'll
happy if
see.
we signed
You're
him.
right. You'll see it.
I'm not saying I won't be happy.
Levi, it's been 10 minutes into this video, and I haven't even mentioned why the Mariners are such a good fit for him and why he should come here. The Mariners are in the most pitcher-friendly ballpark in the entire MLB. You know who the Mariners can't attract? Hitters. You know who they've always been able to attract? Pitchers. and
True.
that's because of the ballpark. So you can get a little bit of discount there. You have the ties with Ichiro and Iwakuma, Kikuchi. I could go on. There's a few more Japanese ties with the Mariners. Not just that, we already have 5 really good pitchers. If we need to work into a 6-man rotation, because in Japan, he didn't throw as many games. They're more, if he wants to get acclimated more, we can do a 6-man rotation for a while and not miss a beat. On top of that, you have guys like Julio, a really young system. We could maybe we can make a run for a World Series. He's not going to a team like the Mets, where they just came off of such a disappointing season. I know the Mariners didn't make the playoffs, but we're definitely not the Mets right now. I mean, there's a lot of good things going for why Seattle and Yamamoto are such a good fit. A lot more than, let's say, a Shohei Ohtani or a Juan Soto. I mean, this makes a lot more sense than like that, Levi. So if you want to sign a big free agent, who is it? Because in my opinion, the most qualified guy on the entire list is Yamamoto and Blake Snell. And right now, if you ask me who I would rather take, Yamamoto in a heartbeat, because he'd be $10 million cheaper, and I think he's a better pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, my number one guy on my wish list, it's the same guy that it's been all off season, and it's not a pitcher. I think we need to upgrade the outfield drastically.
I
So,
agree.
so I'm looking at Cody Bellinger still. I think that he's a former MVP coming off a really good season. He's completely reinvented the way he hits the baseball. No longer a strikeout or bust guy. That was always his downside with the Dodgers, but now he's a contact and power guy, and he can also play first base. So if you get to the scenario where Canzone is playing pretty well off the bench, Ty France is still playing bad, you can move him to first base, start Canzone. So there's a lot of options. That's why I think Bellinger right now is my top option. But I understand the feeling like, look, if you can't get the hitters, just completely add to your strength and make your rotation even
Exactly.
more better than it was before.
Why would you overpay for a mediocre hitter when you can underpay for an elite
I
pitcher?
wouldn't say mediocre. I would say you're paying market price for a really good hitter.
You would have to pay Cody Bellinger a lot of money to come here. He would choose a team like New York for $5 million less. So are you willing to outbid the Yankees by $5 million for Cody Bellinger, or are you willing to go $5 million cheaper with Yamamoto? I don't know. I don't know. It's an argument for sure.
We'd have to outbid the Yankees for Yamamoto too.
I disagree. I
You
disagree with that
would.
short portion right. And
You think he would take less money to come
I
play
do.
with the Mariners, a team that's front office clearly doesn't care about winning?
The Yankees were worse than us last year. It's a way, way tougher place to pitch. He'd be under a lot more scrutiny.
And if
If
they can
he's
offer him a better contract, I think he'd take it. I think he would.
I think the Mariners would have a legitimate argument with a contract $5 million less per year than the Yankees. I still think he would think about it. I don't know.
I'm sure he'd
I,
think about it. I'm sure he would.
I think the Mariners, if they match the highest offer, he's going to the Mariners. I believe that. So we'll see.
We shall see. But the bottom line is, I think we both are waiting to see. Will the Mariners make a move
Will the
soon?
Mariners do anything?
Oh, see, and a lot of people have been saying lately, well, it's only November. It's only November. Well, it's 2 days away from December. The winter meetings are about to begin. Let's see some action. I think a lot of teams right now are just waiting to see what's Ohtani going to do, what's Yamamoto going to do, and then they're going to go from there. But the other thing I'm saying, though, is if you do want to try to trade one of your pitchers, Bryce or Brian, clock's ticking, because it's pretty soon the teams that need pitchers are going to sign them in free agency, and now you lost all your leverage, right? Your leverage with Wu and Miller is we have young good pitchers and you don't, so you want our young good pitchers. But if the Rays go out and sign somebody like, not even, they don't have to sign Yamamoto, but even if the Rays were to sign Michael Wacha, the Mets just signed Luis Severino today. Like, some of these mediocre middle of the tier pitchers that are guys that, to teams that we could have potentially traded our young guys for are starting to fall off the board. So let's move it along here. If you want to trade them, now's the time.
Yeah, we cannot let what happened last year happen this year. Jerry Dipoto admitted that the free agent market kind of passed them by last year, and they expected guys to come to them that ended up didn't come in, and can't allow that to happen this year. And I
No,
think the best way to do that is to sign Yamamoto, and we can get this ship in the right direction. So I think that'll do it, guys. This is the NW Sportscast. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. It means a lot trying to get to 600 subscribers by the end of the year. Go check out our other channel, Coast to Coast Sports. Go check out, Levi's kind of posting on Twitter once in a while. You should check that out. He has some good arguments. He posts like 10 things in the span of 24 hours and then goes incognito for a week. So if you want that type of content, go Twitter. The handle's just at NW Sportscast. And I think that'll be it. See you guys. And as always, go Mariners.